Hello friends, in our previous lectures we did some numericals based on concentration of the solutions. Today we will do some numericals based on Rolle's law. So let us quickly start the numericals. The first numerical is ethylene glycol. The formula is this, is used as an antifreeze. Calculate the vapor pressure of water above a solution of 100 ml ethylene glycol and 100 ml water at 90 degrees Celsius. We are given with the density of ethylene glycol is 1.15, density of water is 1 gram per ml, and vapor pressure of pure water is given at 90 degrees is 1525.8 mm Hg. Okay, so we have to calculate the vapor pressure of water in solution of water and ethylene glycol. This we can easily calculate based on the Rolle's law. But before that, let us quickly write what is given to us. So we are given with the volume of ethylene glycol that is equal to 100 ml. So we are given its density. So density ethylene glycol EG denotes for ethylene glycol. It is 1.15 gram per ml. Okay. So similarly, we have volume for water. It is also equal to, as from numerical, 100 ml. So I will write 100 ml. Similarly, density of water is given is equal to 1 1 gram per ml. So we know that molecular weight we can write molecular weight of ethylene glycol. We can easily calculate for the formula. It is 2 carbons means 12 into 2 24, 2 oxygen 16 into 2 32, 32 plus 24 is 56, and 1 2 3 to 5 6 hydrogen. So it is 60 gram is the molecular weight of ethylene glycol. Similarly, molecular weight of water is 18 gram. Okay. So now let us see what we have to find. We have to find the vapor pressure of water above a solution of 100 ml ethylene glycol and 100 ml water. So this we can apply Rolle's law, which states that the vapor pressure of any component, suppose we have to calculate for water, vapor pressure of any component in a solution is equal to its mole fraction in the solution x water multiplied by its vapor pressure in pure state. So P, which is denoted by P naught. So by applying this formula, we can calculate the vapor pressure of water in a solution, and we are given with the volumes of ethylene glycol and water which are given for the preparation of solution. Now the formula for, in order to calculate the vapor pressure of water, we need P naught is given. So P naught is 528.5 mm Hg pure water. So this is your P naught. So P naught is given. We just need to calculate X mole fraction of water in the mixture. Now the formula for mole fraction is, we can write X water is equal to number of moles of water, N water, it is N. So N water divided by N water plus N ethylene glycol. Okay. So in order to calculate the number of moles, one we need molecular weight. Molecular weight we have, and we need to know the weight of the two components which are used to prepare the solution. So now we are given with the volume and density, so we can easily calculate weight by the formula. Weight is equal to volume into density, because density is equal to mass per unit volume. So weight is volume into density. So we can say that volume of ethylene glycol, it is equal to, the volume is 100 ml multiplied by 1.15 density, so it gives you 115 gram. So this is the weight of ethylene glycol in solution. As density of water is 1, so its volume and weight they will be same. So weight of water is 100 gram. Okay. Now we can calculate number of moles of water and number of moles of ethylene glycol. So N ethylene glycol, it is equal to weight divided by its molecular weight. Weight is 115, molecular weight is 60. Similarly, for water, it goes N water is equal to the weight of water in solution is 100 gram. So its molecular weight is 18. Okay, so if we solve it, it will come out to be 5.555. So we can write 5.56. If we solve this, this will come out to be, we can write 11.5 by 6. It is 1.5 is left, 1.9. So 1, something like that. 1.6 into 1, 6, 5 left, 5, 55, 9 into 6, 54, 1 left. So something like 1.91. So we can assume it 1.91. So this is number of moles of ethylene glycol and these are number of moles of water. So this is the approximate value. So now put the value here. So it is mole fraction of water is the number of moles of water. It is 5.56 divided by number of moles of water again 5.56 plus number of moles of ethylene glycol we have calculated, it is 1.91. So if we add these two, it will become 5.56 divided by, so 6 into 1, 6 plus 1 is 7, 9 plus 5 is 4, 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So it is 7.47. If we calculate, it will come out to be equal to 0.72. So it will approximately come out to be equal to 0.72. So this is the mole fraction of water in the solution. Now we have to calculate the pressure of water. So we will just put the value of X water and P naught water. P naught water is 525.8. So P water is pressure of water in a solution of water and ethylene glycol is equal to its mole fraction, which is 0.72 multiplied by its vapor pressure in pure state. It is 525.8. 525.8 upon solving, it will give you a value something like 394, approximate 394 mm units. We have to always keep the units mm hg. Okay, so this is the that we have to calculate the vapor pressure of water above a solution of 100 ml ethylene glycol and 100 ml water. So I will just revise for you. In order to calculate it, we had a formula from Rolle's law that vapor pressure of any component is equal to its mole fraction in the mixture multiplied by the its vapor pressure in pure state. So vapor pressure in pure state we were given 525.8. We just have to calculate the mole fraction, but we are given the volumes. So volume of ethylene glycol and volume of water. So first from we were also given their density. So from this first we calculated the weight of two components. We already know their molecular weight. So from that we can calculate number of moles of ethylene glycol and number of moles of water. So mole fraction is given by number of moles of water divided by number of moles of water plus number of moles of ethylene glycol. So by putting this value, it will come out to be approximately 0.72. So putting these values in the expression, this will be your final result, 394 mm mercury. Now let us go to next numerical. So the numerical says the vapor pressure of an aqueous solution of urea, it is the formula for urea, is 291.2 mm Hg at a measured temperature. So the vapor pressure of pure water is given 355.1. So we have to calculate the mole fraction of each component. So I will represent the vapor pressure of solution of urea as PS. So it is vapor pressure of solution of urea. Its value is 291.2 given. 291.2 mm unit is mmHg. So we have to see carefully that all the units should be same. Similarly, vapor pressure of pure water we can represent it as P naught. So P naught is equal to 355.1 mmHg. Okay. So this is the vapor pressure of pure water. So we can write P naught water here because the solution is aqueous. So vapor pressure of pure water H2O. Okay. Now this is the vapor pressure of solution. So if we look very carefully, the solution is prepared by addition of urea, which is a non-volatile compound. Now we all know that total pressure of solution is equal to pressure of solute denoted by P2 plus pressure of solvent, which is water, but the solute is non-volatile, so it will not contribute to the vapor pressure. So we can say that vapor pressure of the solution will be equal to the vapor pressure due to the solvent in the solution. Now the solvent is water. Okay. So what, and this is given by the expression from Rolle's law. Vapor pressure of water, we will write vapor pressure of water in solution is equal to mole fraction of water in the solution multiplied by vapor pressure of water in the pure state. Now this P water is a measure of PS, because as I explained it to you, the vapor pressure of two components is equal to the total vapor pressure because of two components is equal to the sum of vapor pressure from individual component. But our one component like 2, we give donation 2 for solute. It was non-volatile, so its value was 0 because it does not contribute to the vapor pressure. So vapor pressure of solution was equal to the vapor pressure of solvent, and in our case solvent is water. So we can say vapor pressure of solution is equal to the vapor pressure of water in the solution, and its value is given 291.2. Now we have P water, which we can also write, we can again write it in the form, simpler form. Pressure of solution is equal to mole fraction of water. Now you have to please understand why I have replaced P water and P solution, because when the solution is non-volatile, both are same, multiplied by P water in the pure state. Now we can easily calculate mole fraction of water from this. So this gives X water is equal to, because we have to calculate the mole fraction of both the components. What are those components? Water and urea. So water we can calculate from PS divided by P water naught. Okay, now value of PS is, you can see it is 291.2, 291.2 divided by P water. P water is 355.1, and if we solve it, it will come out to be equal to 0.82. So it will come out to be 0.82. So this is the mole fraction of water in the mixture. So mole fraction of urea, we can represent it by U. It can easily be calculated by 1 minus mole fraction of water. Okay. We don't need to calculate by formula, because we know that for a two component system, mole fraction of urea plus mole fraction of water, it is equal to 1. So from this we can write mole fraction of urea is equal to 1 minus mole fraction of water is equal to 1 minus mole fraction of water we have calculated 0.82. So it comes out to be equal to 0.18. So mole fraction of water is, we just had to calculate the mole fraction of each component. Mole fraction of water is 0.82 and mole fraction of urea XU, mole fraction of urea is 0.18. So the only trick was here that we have to consider this vapor pressure of solution equal to the vapor pressure of solvent in a solution. Why? Because our solute is non-volatile, so it will not make any contribution to the total vapor pressure. So vapor pressure of the solution will only be because of the vapor pressure of the solvent. So, and from Rolle's law we have vapor pressure of any component in a solution is equal to its mole fraction multiplied by vapor pressure in pure state. So from here we calculated vapor pressure of mole fraction of water, and from it, by applying this formula we can calculate mole fraction of second component, which is urea. So that was our numerical. Let us move to next numerical. The next numerical says that calculate the vapor pressure of water over a solution containing 50 gram sucrose. We have a solution of sucrose and water. We have taken 50 gram sucrose, 100 gram water at 45 degrees C. The vapor pressure of pure water is given 71.88 mm Hg. But we have to calculate the vapor pressure of water over a solution. Okay, again this numerical is same. What we are given? We are given vapor pressure of pure water, P water naught, it is equal to 71.88 mm mercury. Okay, so what else is given? The solution is prepared by adding sucrose. So we will write weight of sucrose, W sucrose. I will denote sucrose by WS. W sucrose is equal to 50 gram, and we have W water. So W water is equal to 100 gram. Okay, this is the weight of sucrose and water to prepare the solutions. Now we have to calculate the vapor pressure of water in solution. So we will apply Rolle's law. Rolle's law states that vapor pressure of a component in solutions we have to calculate for water. So P water is equal to mole fraction of water in the solution multiplied by its vapor pressure in pure state, which is given. Now we are given with P water. It is P water. We are given P water not. It is given. We just have to calculate now mole fraction of water. Okay. Mole fraction of water we will calculate from this weight of sucrose and weight of water, but before that we need molecular weight. So we will write molecular weight of water. We all know it is equal to 18 gram, and molecular weight of sucrose we can calculate from the formula. When we will calculate, it will come out to be equal to 342 grams. So this is the molecular weight of sucrose, and that was the molecular weight of water. Now we what we have to calculate mole fraction of water. So mole fraction of water x water, it is equal to number of moles of water. Okay, number of moles of water divided by number of moles of water plus number of moles of sucrose. Now let us calculate first number of moles of water. So number of moles of water is equal to weight. Weight is 100 gram. 100 divided by its molecular weight 18. So it will come out to be 5.56 approximately. Okay. Similarly, N sucrose is equal to, what is the weight? 50 gram. 50 divided by its molecular weight is 342. So if you solve it, it will come out to be equal to 0.146, or we can say it is 0.15. Okay, so this is the number of moles of water. These are number of moles of sucrose. Now let us calculate mole fraction of water. So x water is equal to number of moles of water 5.56. divided by 5.56 number of moles of water plus number of moles of sucrose. It is 0.15. So we can write it equal to 5.56 divided by, if we add it, 5 6 1, 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 1 7, so it will 5.71. So if we solve it, it will be something like 0.97. So it is something like 0.97. This is a mole fraction of water in the solutions. Now we have to calculate the vapor pressure of water. So P water is equal to, we will use the formula this. X water is 0.97 and its vapor pressure in pure state is 71.88. So the answer is near about 70. Okay, so this will be the vapor pressure of water in the solution, 70 millimeter of mercury. So this numerical was similar to earlier one. We just had to calculate the mole fraction of water. Now we were given the weights directly. So we calculated the number of moles from the molecular weight of the substances. Then we calculated the mole fraction of water. Then by applying this Rolle's law, we can calculate the vapor pressure of water in solution. So that was an easy numerical. Let us move to next numerical. This numerical says that vapor pressure of water at 20 degrees C is 17.51 mm and lowering of vapor pressure of sugar solution is 0.061. So now we are given with the lowering of vapor pressure, means vapor pressure of solvent in pure state minus vapor pressure of solvent in solution, simply PS. Now we have to calculate the relative lowering of vapor pressure, and second we have to calculate the vapor pressure of solution. Third thing, we have to calculate the mole fraction of water. So let us first see what is given. We are given with the vapor pressure of pure water. We will denote it by P naught. It is 17.51 mmHg. Now we are given with the relative lowering of lowering of vapor pressure. We are given with the lowering of vapor pressure, which is given by vapor pressure of solvent in pure state minus vapor pressure of solution. This is called lowering of vapor pressure and its value is 0.0614 mm, okay, mercury. Now what else we have to calculate? He says first thing, calculate a relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now relative lowering of vapor pressure is given by P naught minus PS. Let us quickly revise. P naught minus PS divided by P naught. This is called relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now P naught minus PS is given. P naught is also given. You just have to put the values. So 0.0614 divided by 17.51. So its value will come out to be equal to 0.614 divided by 17.51. It is 0.0035. 0.0035. So this is the relative lowering of vapor pressure. First thing we have calculated. Second thing he asked, calculate vapor pressure of solution. PS. We have to calculate PS. We know P naught. We know P naught minus PS. We have to calculate PS. How we can calculate? We can simply calculate it by any guesses? By simply subtracting, putting the values of P naught here. You can calculate PS. Put the value of P naught here. So 17.51 P naught minus PS we have to calculate. It is equal to 0.0614. So if we take PS to the right hand side, PS is equal to 17.510 minus 0.0614. So you can subtract and get the answer. So the answer is something like 17.4486. 17.4486. This is the vapor pressure of the solution. So we have successfully calculated relative lowering of vapor pressure and vapor pressure of solution. Third thing was that we have to calculate the mole fraction of water. Now we have a as we know that relative lowering of vapor pressure is a colligative property, and we have already proved from Rolle's law in our previous lectures that this relative lowering P naught minus Ps divided by P naught is equal to the mole fraction of solute. Okay. Now this P naught minus Ps by P naught we have calculated, it is 0.0035. So it gives us that mole fraction of solute X2 is equal to 0.0035. But we have to calculate the mole fraction of water, which is solvent. We can easily calculate. So mole fraction of solvent X1 is equal to 1 minus x2. Why? Because x1 plus x2 is equal to 1. So x2 we know, x is equal to 1 minus x2 is 0.0035. 0.0035, and the answer is 0.9965. This is the mole fraction of water that we have to calculate. So we had to calculate three things: relative lowering of vapor pressure of solution, and mole fraction of water. So what we were given, let us quickly revise. We were given the vapor pressure of pure water 17.5. Now we were given lowering of vapor pressure. Lowering of vapor pressure is the vapor pressure of solvent minus vapor pressure of solution. So P naught minus Ps is equal to 0.0614 mmHg. So we had to calculate relative lowering. So we simply divide lowering of vapor pressure by vapor pressure of pure solvent to get relative lowering of vapor pressure, and the answer was 0.0035. Second thing was that we have to calculate the vapor pressure of solution Ps. We know P naught, P naught, we just had to put the value of P naught here. So we calculated Ps. It was 17.4486. Next thing was to calculate the mole fraction of water. This we calculated from the relation that relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of solute. This we have already proved with the help of Rolle's law in our previous lecture. So you can please consult that lecture. I have given the link in the description of the video, and x2 came out to be 0.0035. Now we have to calculate x1, which is mole fraction of solvent, which is water. So is equal to 1 minus mole fraction of solute, 1 minus x2. So the answer is 0.9965. So that was an easy numerical. Let us come to next numerical. So this numerical says that vapor pressure of 5% aqueous solution of a non-volatile organic substance at 100 degrees Celsius is 745 mm. Calculate molecular mass of solute. Now it is an interesting numerical. What we are given? We are given PS, vapor pressure of solution at 100 degrees C. It is 745 mm mercury. Okay. What else we are given? We are given 5% aqueous solution of non-volatile organic substance. What does this mean? This means that 5% aqueous solution means 100 gram of solution. Okay. It contains solute how much? 5 gram. So in 100 gram of solution, solute is 5 gram. So if 5 gram is solute, then solvent is We can easily calculate. Solvent is 100 minus 5, 95 gram. So we were given 5% aqueous solution, which means 5 gram of solute in 100 gram of solution. So solution is made by two components, solute plus solvent. If 5 gram is solute, so in order to make it 100 gram, we need 95 gram of solvent, and solvent is water because the solution is aqueous. Now he says that calculate the molecular mass of the solute. Now, in order to calculate the molecular mass of solute, we can use a relation which states that relative lowering of vapor pressure P naught minus Ps divided by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute. So we will use this relation to calculate molecular weight of solute. Why? Because molecular weight will come from its mole fraction. Okay, now we have weight of solute and weight of solvent, so we can easily calculate the molecular weight of solute. We have to calculate molecular weight of solute. Now P naught. Now the thing that is left is P naught. Now here is a trick. P naught is vapor pressure of water, pure solvent in pure state. Now we have to look here at the conditions given. We are given at 100 degrees Celsius. Now 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water. Now at boiling point, vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure, and 1 atmospheric pressure is equal to 760 mm mercury. So that was the trick. So we have to calculate vapor pressure of water indirectly, as the reaction condition was 100 degrees Celsius, which is boiling point of water, and at boiling point its vapor pressure becomes equal to the becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. So P naught becomes equal to 760. Now we have P naught, we have PS, so we can calculate P naught minus PS. So P naught minus PS is equal to 760 minus 745. So it comes out to be 15. Okay. So 15 mm H3 we have P naught. So now X2 is a mole fraction of solute. So X2 is mole fraction of solute, which is given by weight of solute divided by its molecular weight that we have to calculate, divided by weight of solute plus number of moles of solution. So to obtain this, we have used this formula. X2 is equal to number of moles of solute divided by number of moles of solvent plus number of moles of solute. So it is W2 by M2, number of moles of solute divided by number of moles of solute plus number of moles of solvent. Now X2 will be equal to P naught minus PS by P naught. So we will calculate now P naught minus PS by P naught. It is equal to 15 divided by P naught is 760. So this whole value X2, this is equal to 15 divided by 760. Now we just have to put the values. Now here we can consider two cases. In order to simplify the numerical, we can assume that this solution is dilute. Generally, there is a very vague way to say that the solutions which have concentration up to 5%, we consider them dilute. Now, if you remember well, in our derivation of relative lowering of vapor pressure, we assumed that if the solution is dilute, then we can neglect N2 term from the denominator, then it becomes equal to N2 by N1. Okay, that means we can simply write is equal to W2 divided by M2 divided by W1 divided by M1. Now my suggestion is to do, I will do this case of dilute solution, but in order to get accurate result, you have to put the value in this relation, that you try to do it by yourself. So I will do this here. Now x2 is equal to w2 by m2 divided by w1 by m1. It is equal to 15 divided by 760. Okay. Now let us put the value. W2 we know, W2 is 5. M we have to calculate molecular weight of solute. That is, we have to determine the molecular mass of solute, which is denoted by M2. Now W1 we have, it is 95. Okay. And what is the molecular weight of water? It is 18. So it becomes equal to 15 divided by 760, or we can write 5 by m2. We can write here, I will write here. So I will write here. So 5 divided by m2 is equal to, this denominator will go there on the right hand side. 15 divided by 760. Okay. No need to follow specific method what I am doing. You can solve it by any method, whichever which you feel comfortable with. Just have to calculate m2 from this. 5 by 760 into 95 by 18. Now which gives us m2. We have to calculate m2. What we can do, we can take m2 to the right hand side, this to the left hand side. It gives you 5 into 760 into 18 divided by 15 into 95. So if you solve this, this will come out to be equal to something like 48 gram. Let us see, it will come out something like 48 gram. Let me check. 5 multiplied by 760 multiplied by 18 is equal to divided by 15 and divided by 95. Yes, it comes out to be 48 grams. So this is the answer. This was the molecular weight of solute. Now let me again revise it for you. Now we were given 5% aqueous solution of a non-volatile organic substance at 100 degrees Celsius, and its vapor pressure was 745 mm. We have to calculate the molecular mass of solute. So we have written that PS is equal to 745, and 5% means 100% of solution contains solute 5 gram. So a total solution is made of solute plus solvent. So we can easily calculate weight of solvent. It will come out to be weight. Okay. So weight of sol solvent is equal to 100 minus 595 gram. Okay. Now we need the, from this Raoult's law, we have a Raoult's law, P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute, by which we can calculate molecular weight of solute, because x2 will involve m2 that we have to calculate, but we need P naught. P naught is a vapor pressure of pure solvent. Now we have to apply our trick or mind here, that the temperature given is 100 degrees Celsius, and at this temperature water boils, or we can say this is the boiling point of water. So at this temperature the vapor pressure of water is equal to atmospheric pressure, which is 760 mm Hg. So P naught is 760 mm Hg. So putting the values here, P naught minus Ps came out to be 15. P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to 15 by 760. Now we had two cases, x2 is equal to w2 by m2. If we apply this formula, divided by w2 m2 plus w1 m1, but we consider that solution is dilute. If solution is dilute, we say that we can neglect n2. So if we neglect n2 from the denominator, what it becomes, w2 by m2 divided by w1 m1. It is w1 m1, sorry. So it is 5 by 760 into 5 by m2 into 95 by 18. So if you solve it, you will get molecular weight is equal to 48 gram. But Please also try to calculate the molecular weight considering that solution is not dilute. Then you have to apply this formula. Okay. So that was quite easy numerical. Let us move to next numerical. So the next numerical says a yeah a current of dry air, means dry air, was passed through a solution of 2.5 gram of non-volatile solute in 100 gram of water. So now what we have, we write weight of solute WS. Okay, or we generally denote it by W2, but write WS. WS is equal to 2.5 gram. Okay, next is W water, which is our solvent. It is 100 gram. Okay, so far this is given. Now he says that the loss of weight of former was 1.25 gram and that of latter was 0.05 gram. Calculate the molecular mass of substance B. Now this numerical is based on our method that we did in lowering of vapor pressure, Ostwald's method. Okay, this numerical is based on Ostwald and Wacker's method to determine relative lowering of vapor pressure. So in order to solve this numerical, we must know about Ostwald's method. Now I will again repeat the statement. A dry air was passed through a solution of 2.5 gram of non-volatile solute in 100 gram of water and then through water alone. If you remember this Ostwald's method, it contains first three bulbs or some bulbs with pure solution, then the three bulbs with the pure solvent, and we pass dry air. So you can refer to my lecture on relative lowering of vapor pressure to see the construction of Ostwald's method. So I will provide the link in the description section. So now the loss of weight of former was means when the dry air passed through solution, the solution bulbs had a weight loss of 1.25 gram and that of pure water, when it passed through the bulb containing pure water, it was 0.05 gram. We have to calculate molecular mass of substance. Now we have to remind Ostwald's method, which states that the loss of weight in solution bulbs, okay, is proportional to the what, is proportional to the, so the weight loss in the solution bulb was proportional to the vapor pressure of solution, which we denote by PS. It is vapor pressure of solution. PS is vapor pressure of solution and it is proportional to the weight loss in solution bulbs, 1.25 gram. Okay. Now when the same vapor passed through the solvent bulbs, they again can absorb some vapors and this weight loss will be proportional to the lowering of vapor pressure, P naught minus PS. This came from the learning of Ostwald's method. If we know this method, then you can please, after seeing this numerical, first see Ostwald's method, then do this numerical. P naught minus PS is proportional to 0.05 gram. Now we have a formula, you know already, P naught minus PS divided by P naught, that is equal to mole fraction of solute. Okay, mole fraction of solute X2. Okay, now so now we need to we know PS, we know P naught minus PS, we need to calculate P naught. We can easily calculate P naught by adding these two. So P naught will be equal to 1.25 plus, is not equal to, it will be proportional to, plus 0.05. So P naught will be proportional to 1.30. So we can write P naught minus PS by P naught. P naught minus PS by P naught. Now we can say equal to, because the constant of proportionality will get cancelled when we divide these two. So that is equal to P naught minus PS is 0.05 divided by P naught is 1.30. So this is 1.30. Now we have to calculate the, what we have to calculate, molecular mass of solute. So we will apply this formula, P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute, and again we will assume that solution is dilute, because we have just dissolved 2.5 gram in 100 gram of water. So we can write is equal to number of moles of solute divided by number of moles of solvent. Now P naught minus Ps by P naught we have calculated, it is 0.05 divided by 1.30, it is equal to N2. N2 is what is N2? Number of moles of solute. It is weight of solute, WS. I have assumed as WS, weight of solute divided by its molecular weight. Now N2 is equal to weight of solute 2.5 gram divided by M. The solute is B. They have given it as B. So we can say its molecular weight as MB, that we have to calculate. So it is 2.5 divided by MB divided by number of moles of water. So water is 100. 100 divided by its molecular weight of water is 18. So we can write it as 0.05 divided by 1.30. It is equal to 2.5 divided by MB divided by this will give you 5.56. So when this goes to this side, it becomes 2.5 divided by MB. So I am actually writing each step so that you don't get confused. Otherwise, it is not necessary to write single step. You should be quick in the calculations. So 2.5 by MB is equal to 0.05 divided by 1.30 into 5.56. Okay. Now we have to calculate MB, so we can take it to the right hand side. So MB, I will write here, MB will be equal to, if we take this to the right hand side, it will become 2.5 into 1.30 multiplying this divided by 0.05 into 5.56. So upon solving this, you can solve it. It will become 2.5 into 1.30 is 3.25. 3.25 divided by 0.05 multiplied by 5.56. It is 0.278. So if you solve this, this will be equal to 3.25 divided by 0.278, something like 11.7 gram. So the result is 11.70 gram. This is the molecular weight of B. So let me quickly rewind it for you. This numerical was based on Ostwald's method to determine the relative lowering of vapor pressure. This method we have already discussed in our previous lectures on relative lowering of vapor pressure, and I have kept the link of that lecture in the description of this video for your reference. Now this method states that loss of water from solution bulbs 1.25 is proportional to vapor pressure of solution, and loss of water from solvent bulbs, it is proportional to lowering of vapor pressure. Okay, how this comes, you can easily learn from this working of this method. So from this we calculated P naught by simply subtracting, or simply adding them. 1.25 plus 0.05, it gives you 1.30. So we calculated relative lowering of vapor pressure. So this was the value. Now we have from Rolle's law that P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute. Now we again consider the case if the solution is dilute, then it will be approximately equal to N2 by N1, because in case of dilute solutions we can neglect N2 from the denominator. So when we put these values, now N2 was the number of moles of solute, it is equal to the weight of solute, it was given 2.5 divided by its molecular weight that we have to calculate. Similarly, number of moles of water solvent, water were weight of water divided by its molecular weight. So when we put these values, the answer came to be 11.70 gram. So this is an easy numerical to do this, but we first know the Ostwald's method. Okay, so please go through my lecture on Ostwald's method. Let us do next numerical. This numerical says that vapor pressure of water at 50 degrees Celsius is 92 mm, and 18.1 gram of urea are dissolved in 100 gram of water. Okay, so how the solution was made? By dissolving 18.1 gram of urea in 100 gram of water. You have to be very careful. Sometimes it is written 100 gram of solution, sometimes it is written 100 gram of solvent. So please uh, read the statement very carefully. So next thing he says that vapor pressure is reduced by 5 mm. That means it is lowering of vapor pressure. So we have to calculate molecular mass of urea assuming solution is not dilute. Okay, now he says that assume solution is not dilute. Now let us calculate. First we will write what is given. We are given vapor pressure of pure water. So P water not, it is equal to 92, okay, mm mercury. Next we are given vapor pressure is reduced by 5 m, means lowering of vapor pressure. So it is P naught minus Ps, that is given equal to 5. Okay, he says that calculate molecular mass of urea. One thing is more given, weight of urea is given. So we see weight of urea W, it is equal to 18.1. We have to calculate molecular weight of urea. Mu is question. And next thing is given weight of solvent, which is water. So weight of water is something like 100 gram. It is given. Molecular weight we know, no need to write, but I will write for your reference. Molecular weight of water is 18. Okay, now we have to calculate the molecular mass of urea. Again we will use the relation given by Rolle's law, that P naught minus Ps divided by P naught, which is the relative lowering of vapor pressure, it is equal to mole fraction of solute, which is given by 2. 2 denotes symbol for solute. X2 means number of moles of solute divided by number of moles of solvent plus number of moles of solute. Now we need the values of N1 and N2. First we will calculate N1. So N1, which is number of moles of solvent, is equal to weight of solvent 100 divided by its molecular weight. So its value is 5.56. So this value is 5.56 if you divide it. Next is N2. So weight of urea is 18.1 and its molecular weight that we have to calculate. So we will write Mu. Okay, now we need know N1, we know N2, We also know P naught minus PS, which is 5, and we also know P naught, which is 92. Now we will put all these values here. P naught minus PS is 5. So 5 divided by P naught is 92. 92 is equal to N2. N2 is 18.1 divided by MU. I will divided by N1 is 5.56 plus N2. N2 is 18.1 divided by MU. Okay. Now what we can do, we can cross multiply. So if we cross multiply it, it is 18.1. So it becomes 5 into 5.56 plus 18.1 divided by molecular mass. We can also calculate by other methods, but I am adopting this method so that you understand. We can take 18.1 by mu common here, then it get cancelled. But that you can do later. First try to understand the numerical. So we have followed a simple method. Now this gives, when 92 goes here, 18.1 into 92 divided by mu. Okay, now let us see what it becomes. 5.56 into 5 is 5 into 6, 30, 0, 3, 5, 5 into 5, 25 into 3, 28, 2, 5 into 5, 25, 25 plus 2 is 27. So it becomes 27.8 plus this multiplied 18.1 multiplied by 5 is 90.5 divided by mu is equal to, now we have to multiply 18.1 with the 92. It is 1665.2, 1665.2 by mu. Now next thing we can do is we can take the terms with mu on one side and that on another side. So take this to the right hand side. So it becomes 1665.2 divided by mu minus 90.5 divided by mu is equal to, what is, 27.80. Now mu comes common, so 1 by mu is common. 1 by mu is 1665.2 minus 90.5. So 12 minus 5 is 7. 4 minus 0 is 4. So 16 minus 9 is 7. So here we have 1574.7. So this is the value inside is equal to 27.80. So mu will be, we have to calculate mu. Mu is, if we take mu to the right hand side and this comes here in the denominator, it becomes 15. Now this is, students, simple mathematics, okay, but you should know how to do it quickly. I am doing step by step so that you don't get confused here. So I have adopted a detailed method, but when I have to do in my exams or in some competitive exams, then I have to be quick. So you also need to find some other ways by which you can easily quickly calculate this, and usually in competitive exams these values are simple so that you can easily calculate without a calculator. So it is 27.8. So if you solve this, it will come out to be, let us see, 1574.7 divided by 27.80. It is 56.6. So it is very close. Now experimentally, if we calculate the molecular weight of urea, came to be 56 and its actual molecular weight is 60. So it is very close to the actual value. So from this numerical, its value came to be 56 grams. This is the molecular weight of urea that we calculated from this numerical. So this numerical was quite easy actually. We were given weight of vapor pressure of water, pure water, it is 92 mm, and we were given lowering of vapor pressure, it is 5. Okay, so then we calculated relative lowering. From this, by applying Raoult's law, we calculated the molecular weight of urea, which is denoted by mu, which came out to be 56 grams. Let us do the next numerical. He says that calculate the vapor pressure at 22 degrees Celsius of a 0.1 molar solution of urea. Now we are given 0.1 molar solution of urea. The density of the solution may be taken as 1 gram per liter and vapor pressure of pure water is 20 millimeter. We have to calculate vapor pressure of 0.1 molar solution of urea. Okay, now we can easily calculate. Let us first see what is given. We are given vapor pressure of pure water, P water naught. This is 20 mm. Okay, now density is 1. Density is 1. Next, we are given concentration of the solution. So concentration is equal to 0.1 molar. So now let us see what is the meaning of this concentration. This means that 0.1 molar solution of urea means that 1000 ml, 1 liter of solution. Now the definition of molarity says 1 liter of solution contains urea. How much? 0.1 mole contains urea is equal to 0.1 mole. Now we have to calculate the vapor pressure of solution, and vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure of water in solution plus vapor pressure of urea. Vapor pressure of urea is 0 because it is non-volatile, so it is approximate vapor pressure of solution. Vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure of water in solution, and it is calculated by mole fraction of water in the solution multiplied by vapor pressure of, this is the formula that we will use, vapor pressure of water in pure state. It is given, we just have to calculate the mole fraction of water, and mole fraction of water is given by number of moles of water divided by number of moles of water plus number of moles of urea. Okay, now now from the concentration was given 0.1 molar. So 0.1 molar means 1000 ml of solution contains urea is equal to 0.1 mole, and 1 mole of urea is equal to its molecular weight. Molecular weight of urea, M urea, is 60. Okay, this is the molecular weight of urea denoted by Mu. So 1 mole of urea is equal to 60 grams. 0.1 mole is equal to 60 into 0.1 is equal to 6 gram. So that means 0.1 molar solution of urea means 100 ml of solution contains 6 gram of urea as the density is 1. So we can say that weight of solution, we can calculate weight of solution. Weight of solution is equal to volume into density. Density is 1, so weight becomes equal to 1000. So we can say 1000 gram solution. Okay, 1000 gram solution contains urea 6 gram. Now a solution is made from urea plus water. Now we need the weight of water. Urea plus water is equal to weight of urea plus weight of water is equal to 1000 gram, out of which weight of urea is 6 gram. So we get weight of water is equal to 1000 minus weight of urea, which is 6, is equal to 994 gram. Now we have weight of water as well as we have weight of urea. Now we can easily calculate the mole fraction of water. Now again here we can assume as the solution contains only 6 gram of urea per 994 gram of water, we can assume the solution to be dilute. So if the solution is dilute, that means x water is what is x water? X water is equal to number of moles of solute n water divided by n urea plus n water. We will put the values. N water is, let us calculate n water. N water is, what is weight of water? 994 gram. And I will write here n water is 994 divided by 18. Okay, this is n water and its value is 994 divided by 18 is 55.22. Okay, so n water is 55.22. Similarly, we can calculate n urea. Urea is 6 gram. What is given? We have 6 gram. Its molecular weight is 60. So 6 divided by 6 is 1 by 10. It is 0.1. So put the values here. X water comes out to be, X water is equal to 55.22 divided by n urea is 0.1 plus n water is 55.22. So it is equal to 55.22 divided by 55.32. If we add this, it gives you 55.32 and it comes out to be something like 0.99 or 55.32. It is 0.998. We can get 0.998. So this is the mole fraction of water in the solution. Now we have to calculate vapor pressure of solution, which is equal to vapor pressure due to water. It is equal to mole fraction of water into vapor pressure of pure water, which is 20. So PS is, by putting the values, X water is 0.998 into 20. So it comes out to be 19.96. So the answer is 19.96 mm. Okay, this is answer. So it was quite an easy numerical. So in all these numerical, this formula is used heavily. We just need to calculate the mole fraction of now water. So in order to calculate the mole fraction of water, we have to use the concentration. It is given 0.1 molar solution of urea, which means 1000 ml of solution, it contains 0.1 mole of urea, means 6 gram of urea. Now as density is 1, so 1000 ml it converts to 1000 gram. That means 1000 gram solution contains 6 gram urea. So what will be the weight of water? 1000 minus 6, 994 gram. So out from weight of urea and weight of water in the solution, we can calculate their number of moles, and from number of moles we can calculate mole fraction of water. If we know the mole fraction of water, we can easily calculate vapor pressure of solution, which is equal to vapor pressure of water in solution. As urea is non-volatile, so its contribution is 0. So it comes out to be 19.96. It was quite an easy numerical. Let us come to next numerical and last numerical of this session. So the vapor pressure of an aqueous solution of cane sugar. We are given cane sugar its molecular weight is 342. Its vapor pressure is given 756 mm at 100 degrees C. Now, how many grams of sugar are present in 1000 gram of water? Now we have to calculate the how much weight of cane sugar we should add to 1000 gram of water so that its vapor pressure becomes 756 mm. Okay, so it is quite again easy numerical. First of all, we will see what is given. We are given vapor pressure of solution, which is 756. Okay, we are given vapor. We are not directly given, but we can calculate vapor pressure of pure solvent as the condition is 100 degrees Celsius. It is boiling point of water. So its vapor pressure is 760. Now vapor pressure is given. Now he says that how many grams of sugar are present in 1000 gram of water so that we get the vapor pressure of solution equal to 756. Now we are given weight of water. W water is given is equal to 1000 gram. Okay, we need to calculate here now W cane sugar. I will write it CS. W cane sugar that we need to calculate. What else we know? We know molecular weight of water is 18 and molecular weight of cane sugar is given. We can also calculate from the formula. It is sucrose is called cane sugar. It is 342 grams. Okay, now let us see how we can calculate the weight of this cane sugar. That gives the lowering of vapor pressure of solution equal to 756. Now as cane sugar is non-volatile, again we can write that vapor pressure of solution is equal to vapor pressure due to cane sugar plus vapor pressure due to solvent. The solvent is water. Now the cane sugar is non-volatile, so its contribution is 0. So we can write PS is equal to P water. Okay, the vapor pressure of solution is because of vapor pressure of solvent. Now from Rolle's law we have P water is equal to X water, because from this we can calculate our W because it will involve N2. From N2 we can calculate W2. X water into P water naught. Now we have P water, we have P water naught, which is 760 mm mercury. So we will now calculate X water. So X water is, as you know, X water is N water, number of moles of water, divided by number of moles of cane sugar plus number of moles of water. Now let us see N water. So weight of water is 1000 gram. So N water, number of moles of water is equal to weight of water, which is 1000. So divided by its molecular weight, it will come out to be 55.56. Okay, 55.56. Now let us calculate N cane sugar. So N cane sugar is W. We don't know, that we have to calculate W cane sugar. So we will put W cane sugar divided by its molecular weight is 342. Now we just have to put this value here. So X water, we can calculate X water is equal to 55.56 divided by 55.56 plus W cane sugar divided by 342. Okay. Now put this value here. Put all these values of P water, X water and P not water. P water is 760. So 760 is equal to X water is something, this complex number I will write here, 55.56 divided by 55.56 plus W cane sugar divided by its molecular weight, which is 342. Okay, this 342, it multiplied by this P naught water. Sorry, I have written reverse here. We need P water. P water is 756. So please let me correct it. Okay. Now here we need P water. P water is this, because of P solution it is 756. It is 756 and vapor pressure of pure water is 760. Now it is correct. Now in next step we can keep this to the left hand side. It becomes 756 divided by 760 is equal to 55.56 divided by 55.56 plus weight of cane sugar divided by 342. We have to calculate a W cane sugar. Okay. Now let us see what will give our 750 divided by 760. 750 divided by 760 is equal to 0.986. 0.99, we can write is 0.9. Again I am saying that I am doing by writing even a single step of the calculation so that you don't get confused. But in competitive exams you have to be quick. You need not to write all the steps. Okay. So you have to complete these calculations quickly. So in some lectures we will say how we can do it quickly also. But today I have adopted this method because I wanted you to learn the method by which numerical is solved. These calculations you can practice how to do them quickly. So it is 0.99 is equal to 55.56 divided by 55.56 plus WCS divided by 342. Now we will cross multiply. This will go here. We get 0.99 into, by cross multiplying, 55.56 plus WCS into 0.99 divided by 342 is equal to how much? 55.56. Now we will solve this. 0.99 into 55.56 and into 55.56. It is 55 point, approximately 55. Okay. So we can write here 55 plus WCS into 0.99 divided by 342 is equal to 55.56. Now what we can do? We can take this to the right hand side. So now I need to erase some portions. So we can erase this. We don't require this. Now, okay, so let us do here. Now we have sufficient space. Okay. Now if we take it to the right hand side, it becomes 55.56 minus 55 is equal to 0.56. So we have WCS into 0.99 divided by 342 is equal to 0.56. We can calculate WCS. So I hope this will also help the students of medical background because they got confused in these type of calculations. That was my aim, to teach them how there is no need to worry. If we follow the steps one by one, you can easily calculate. So WCS is equal to 342 into 0.56 divided by 0.99. So if you solve this, this will come out to be 342 into 0.56 divided by 0.99. It comes out to be around 193. So this is our answer. 193 gram is the answer. So that was quite an easy numerical. So simply what we did was we had to calculate the vapor pressure of aqueous solution of cane sugar, and we had to calculate how many grams of sugar are present in 1000 gram of water. So by applying this formula, that vapor pressure of water is equal to mole fraction of water multiplied by vapor pressure of water in its pure state, we can easily calculate the weight of cane sugar, which came out to be 193 grams. So that was all for today. So these were some numericals based on Raoult's law. In our next lecture, we will do numericals based on osmotic pressure. So please do subscribe my channel and also share with your friends. Thank you.